The immortal Jack Nicklaus once said, once he took the club to the top, he said from right here, he would throw the club from the top of the swing. He said, as long as he was getting over to his left side, he could never throw it too early. Now, my mentor, Mike Austin, would wholeheartedly agree with Jack.
Mike, do you attempt to delay the uncocking of the wrists and the hands on the downswing?
I certainly do not. This is where I get the jump on almost anyone when I try to hit the ball. When I move my weight over here and my shoulders rotate in this manner, I give the club a throw so it will catch up. Your stimulus begins right here. Everything works as a unit with the hands trying to work faster than the arms so they can take up the slack.
And right after this, we're going to talk about another golfer. In fact, this golfer was an absolutely dominant #1 golfer in the world. We're going to hear in his own words the same message. And I'll even give you a hint. This was the #1 golfer in the world right before Tiger Woods hit the scene. So you want to hear more about this crazy move that actually everybody on TV does, then by all means stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. So today we're talking about casting and flipping. And I know what you're thinking. You're about to click away, but I want you to hang in there and I want you to watch this clip of David Duval in his own words. Remember how hot David Duval was around 1996. He was pretty much winning everything, and that he very much agrees with firing right from the top. Take a look.
Of just doing this. And you can see my wrist is just breaking this way. It's not rolling. There's none of this.
That's what most people would practice, is that roll over.
Right, I'm just this. I'm releasing the golf club. The golf club's getting over here really well. But I'm just doing it this way. You put the face on it, face it and move it.
Will you hit a couple more for me? And I think our viewers are going to look at your golf swing quite a bit differently after hearing that explanation from you. Now, you get your feedback, obviously, from watching the flight of that ball. Do you get any feedback from your divot?
I do. You know, I'm trying to get the golf ball to end up there at the mirror way out there. You'll see that that one cut a little bit, but if you just kind of lay down, I have a perfectly square divot here. You could do better than me, Charlie. That divot's a good 30, 40 yards left of where I'm trying to hit it, and I'm hitting a cut. What that means with a square divot is I'm creating this circle to get around me, and none of this is happening. It's just going like this.
Really amazing approach to the game, and remember, this is an approach that took him to #1 in the world.
As I'm at the top of my swing, I want it coming this way. So in essence, I want to feel like, and a lot of these are feels, because as you match it up with your turn, with your rotation, it's nothing, it doesn't look anything like that. But when I'm here, I want this to happen on my right wrist.
Whoa, that's casting.
That is not casting. That's putting the club on top of the plane. Okay, and as we all know, if you want to drive it consistently well, hit anything consistently well, you need to play on or on top of the plane. That's just all there is to it. And you're trying to eliminate face rotation, you know, shaft rotation, get rid of this. There's different ways to release. You can release like this, Charlie, you know, and the release is
rotate over.
Yeah. The release is to get the golf club from, as a right-hander, from the right side of your body to the left, correct? Mm-hmm. Got to get it past you. Well, that's so you can see it rolling. I just released it. Is that face moving?
No.
Face isn't rotating. I've just fully released the golf club, though. Okay? So it kind of, as I get here, I want to feel like it goes like that. Okay, looks kind of crazy. But now if you do that and you match it up with your rotation, where am I?
Perfect position.
Perfect position. Without the face rolling and rotating, no timing.
Let's see one more.
Let's see if we can do another one, huh?
And you can go at as hard as you want with this, right?
Well, typically the harder you turn, the more you go, the straighter the ball goes.
I like that.
And that's a good thing.
That's how you do it, right there.
So what I think David Duval is onto here, he's just very intuitive very in tune with what his body and his joints are doing, and he's not so much wrapped in the illusion that the camera gives us, where it looks like in a professional swing that they are holding the uncocking of the wrists until the last possible moment where thence they catch up. Of course, they're also going to be holding, according to many golfers and instructors. They're certainly not going to be firing the club head freely past the hands at all. This is flipping. But you can clearly see what David Duval is describing. And of course, the other guy is calling him on it, saying, hey, whoa, 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 this is a cast, this is a flip. But right back here, this is actually when we start to apply pressure into the grip to try to uncock the wrist and to straighten the elbow. And you can see what Duval is doing in the video is something like this, and he's actually putting his wrist into the flippy position as well. Isn't that crazy? Of course, what was David Duval really known for? If you look back at all the videos, if you're old enough to remember and you were in golf, remember that streak he had of all the victories and all the covers of Golf Digest. You remember him from being an exceptional rotator of the chest. He was very aggressive and he just kind of spun like a top. Now that is how we have to set up this supposed cast. So he's not lying. You just wouldn't believe him if you only watched him swing. You would think that he was holding on and letting go out here. But the truth is that every golfer on television, every good golfer, does this from the top of the swing. If you completely eliminated the shifting of weight and the rotation of the chest and hips, it would look like an absolute cast and flip, just like that. As if I was going to throw a fishing pole out into the ocean this way. However, when you do the same move at the same time, and you slightly precede it by getting this hip and shoulder shifting and turning, I'm stimulating back here, but you're just not seeing the response until we get into the hitting area. But this is the truth. We've got the scientific studies that show it is true. So if you want to get yourself out of the funk that you might have been in for, who knows, several years of instruction that has just simply been lying to you, or they do not know the truth that there is no holding, it is a early and very free throwing of that club head in order to make it catch up with the left arm at the moment of impact or just past. And it's simply because it is preceded by a really good pivot and turn, is why we don't see the response until later in the downswing. So here I will be doing this action in this swing, and I'm just going to add kind of my version of the kind of David Duval rotation move. Yeah, we'll check it out. Now, of course, when you play it back in slow motion, it certainly looks like I'm doing everything in my power to hold onto that wrist. You just don't see it. It's an optical illusion on the camera that you just don't see that is actually there. Remember, just because you press down the accelerator of your car does not mean you're going 60 miles an hour instantly. It takes 4, 5, 6, 8 seconds to get to 60 miles an hour. Just because you are beginning the process of uncocking doesn't mean you're going to see the response instantly. It takes a third of a second to catch up. So remember this. Try throwing the club from the top, free. Let it go. Be early. If you're hooking it or hitting it fat, it just means you're not making the body move even faster. So give this technique a shot next time you go to the range. I think you're going to surprise yourself how far you start hitting the ball and how straight too. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.